All right, so we're diving into this guide today, all about nailing those HR interviews. And it's packed with common questions, sample answers, the whole shebang. But we're going deeper. We're not just going to regurgitate the obvious. We want to understand the why behind those questions, the strategy, the stuff that makes you stand out.
Yeah, it's fascinating how they use these questions to kind of get a read on you, right? Not just your skills, but your personality, your fit, even your potential way down the line.
It's like a puzzle, right? And we're going to
Yeah.
break it down. So different categories of questions. We'll pull out some surprising tips from this guide. And honestly, by the end of this deep dive, you'll practically be in the interviewer's head.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, so first impressions. They really hammered this home in the guide. Even those simple greetings, like, how are you today?
Hmm.
It sounds basic, I know. But they stress being positive, concise, even if you're having a terrible day.
It's about showing you can handle pressure, right? You walk in, maybe you spilled coffee on your shirt, missed the bus, but you're there, you're present, and you're positive. That resilience, that tells an employer a lot.
Like a little sneak peek into how you handle curveballs. Okay, so we nailed the greeting. Now, what about that dreaded, tell me about yourself? It's so open-ended, feels like a trap.
It is a bit of a balancing act. You got to shape your narrative without sounding like a robot or rambling on about, your cat collection. The guide has examples for different experience levels, but the key is tailor it to what you've accomplished. But here's the thing. You got to link those accomplishments to what the company needs.
So it's not just a highlight reel. It's like a targeted pitch almost.
Exactly. You're showing them why you are the solution to their problem. Do your research, understand their pain points, then boom, you show how your skills directly address those.
And they're really big on avoiding arrogance or negativity.
Right.
It's that confident humility thing.
Exactly. Imagine someone says, I'm not a coding whiz, but I'm a fast learner and I love solving problems. Way more compelling than someone who claims to be an expert at everything, right?
Shows self-awareness and that growth mindset. Okay, so we've introduced ourselves without setting off any alarm bells. Now that classic, why do you want to work for US? How do we make that answer sing?
Generic answers. They just don't cut it.
Yeah.
You got to show you've done more than skim their website.
Yeah.
Have you read about their recent projects? Do you get their mission, their values?
Yeah, the guide sample answers really focus on aligning your goals with the company's mission. It's more than just saying, I like what you do, though.
Right. Let's say it's a tech startup focused on sustainability. You don't just say, I like your mission, talk about a specific project that impressed you. Or mention how your own values like environmentalism connect with their work. That shows genuine interest, initiative.
It's like you're already thinking like part of the team.
Exactly. You're not applying for any job.
Yeah.
You're applying for this job at this company, and you've got reasons, and that passion, it comes through. Now, speaking of things people are passionate about, how about that salary question?
Oh, yeah. This is where I always get a little nervous. The guide's advice here actually surprised me. They say, don't be the first to throw out a number.
It's a negotiation tactic.
Yeah?
See, if you throw out a number first, you're setting the ceiling. But if you focus on your commitment to the role, your expectation of fair compensation based on, your skills experience, then they're the ones setting the range.
So it subtly shifts the power dynamic. It's not just about the number, it's the strategy.
Right. Of course, you still need to do your research. The salary range is out there, so you're not caught off guard when they finally mention a number.
Right, preparation is key. Okay, so we've covered first impressions, framing our story, aligning with their goals. Now, what about those tricky questions that are really trying to get at your, let's call it character, like what's more important, work or money?
Oh, that's a classic. And the guide is pretty straight up. The correct answer, at least from the company's perspective, is always work.
Always.
Hmm.
But why is that the right answer? Is it just about seeming dedicated?
It's more than that. They want to see passion drive. They believe someone who prioritizes work is going to be more engaged. Go the extra mile, be invested in the company's success,
So it's signaling a certain work ethic commitment level.
Yeah, and that leads us to an even trickier one. Would you lie for the company? This one's less about a right answer and more about assessing the company itself.
Because the guide suggests being diplomatic. But honestly, if a company's asking that, it's a red flag, right?
Huge red flag. It raises serious concerns about their ethics or culture. It's a major test of your integrity. You gotta weigh the potential benefits of the job against the risks of being associated with a company like that.
Okay, that's a lot to digest.
Yeah.
We went from seemingly simple greetings to navigating ethical minefields. Before we move on, any key takeaways from this first part of our deep dive?
I think what really stands out is that every question, even the simple ones, is a chance to showcase something specific about yourself. Be strategic, align your answers with their needs, and always keep the bigger picture in mind.
Like playing chess. not checkers.
Yeah.
Every move matters.
Exactly. And remember, this is just the beginning. We've got a lot more ground to cover, including some specific scenarios that'll really put these strategies to the test.
Okay, so we're back. And honestly, I'm feeling way more prepared to tackle those interview questions. But, there's another side to this whole thing.
Yeah, it's easy to get so focused on answering their questions that we forget we're interviewing them too.
Exactly. Like the guide has a whole section on asking thoughtful questions at the end of the interview.
It's where you go from showing off your skills to actually gathering information, doing your due diligence. You've
Right.
shown your value. Now it's time to see if this company really aligns with your goals and values and, your vision for your career.
That's like a first date.
Hmm.
You both put your best foot forward, but now you got to see if there's actual compatibility.
Exactly. And just like you prepare your answers, you should have some insightful questions ready to go. It shows you're engaged, you're curious, you're thinking beyond just this one role.
It's about moving past the script and having a real conversation. So what kind of questions should we be asking? The guide talks about focusing on company culture, opportunities for growth, things like that.
Those are all good starting points. But to make your questions really hit home, try connecting them back to something specific they've mentioned during the interview.
Okay, I see what you mean. So like if they were talking about a big project that's coming up, I might ask, what role would the person in this position play in that project?
Exactly. Or if they mention they're big on employee development, you could ask about specific programs they have for professional development or mentorship opportunities.
It shows you're listening, you're interested, and you're thinking long term.
And don't be afraid to dig a little deeper into the company culture. You could ask, what are some of the challenges the team's facing right now? Or what are some qualities that make someone successful in this role beyond just the technical skills?
Those are great questions to get a feel for the overall vibe and expectations.
Remember, an interview is a two-way street. It's about finding the right fit for both sides. And by asking smart questions, you're not just getting information, you're showing them you're intelligent, you're curious, and you're genuinely interested in the company.
So to wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listeners with one final thought-provoking idea. The guide we've been exploring focuses so much on answering questions. But what are the questions you should be asking to figure out if this company, this role is right for you?
Take some time to really think about what matters most to you in a workplace. What are your non-negotiables? Is it a collaborative environment? Opportunities to move up? A strong sense of purpose in the work itself?
And then come up with those questions that will give you the answers you need to make a smart decision, one that goes beyond just getting the job offer.
It's about finding a place where you can truly thrive, where your skills and passions match up with the company's mission. It's about building a career you're actually excited about.
So there you have it. A deep dive into not just acing the interview, but figuring out if it's a company you even want to ace it for. We hope you feel more prepared, more confident, and ready to approach that interview as a real two-way conversation.
Absolutely. Best of luck out there. Remember, preparation is key. Authenticity shines through, and the right questions can lead you to the right opportunity.
And if you ever need a pep talk or want to brainstorm some killer interview questions, you know where to find us. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep. Okay, we're back, and man, I'm feeling so much more prepared to tackle those tough interview questions. But like we were saying, there's this whole other side of the interview game, right?
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in, answering all their questions that we forget we're interviewing them too.
Totally. And the guide we've been looking at, it actually spends a whole section on this. The importance of asking good questions at the end of the interview.
It's where you switch gears. You go from showcasing your skills to actually gathering information, doing your due diligence,
Yeah.
You've shown them what you're about. Now it's time to see if this company really fits with what you want, your goals, your values, your whole vision for your career.
It's like that first date analogy again, right? You
Yes.
both put your best foot forward, but now you got to see if there's actual compatibility.
Exactly.
Okay.
And just like you prepare your answers, you should have some good questions ready to go. Shows you're engaged, you're curious, you're thinking beyond just this one job.
It's about going deeper than the script and actually having a real conversation.
Yeah.
So what kind of questions should we be asking? The guide talks about company culture, opportunities for growth, that sort of thing.
Those are all great places to start.
Yeah.
But to make your questions really land, try to tie them back to something specific they mentioned during the interview.
Okay, so I see what you mean. Like if they'd been talking about some big project that's in the works, I might ask, what role would the person in this position play in that project?
Perfect. Or let's say they talked about how important employee development is. You could ask about specific programs they have for, professional development. or mentorship opportunities.
It shows you were paying attention,
Yeah.
you're interested, and you're thinking long term.
And don't shy away from digging a bit deeper into the company culture. Ask something like, what are some challenges the team's dealing with right now? Or what qualities make someone really successful in this role besides just the technical skills?
Those are great questions to kind of get a feel for the vibe and the expectations.
Remember, an interview, it's a two-way street. It's about finding the right fit for both of you. And by asking those insightful questions, you're not just getting information, you're showing them you're smart, you're curious, and you're genuinely interested.
So to wrap up this whole deep dive, let's leave our listeners with one final thought to chew on. The guide we've been digging into, it's all about answering questions.
Mm.
But what are the questions you should be asking to figure out if this role is the right fit for you?
Take some time to really think about what's important to you in a workplace. What are your non-negotiables? Is it a collaborative team? Opportunities for growth? Feeling like your work has real purpose?
Yeah, then craft those questions that will get you the answers you need to make a smart choice.
Yeah.
One that's about more than just getting the job offer.
It's about finding a place where you can really shine, where your skills and what you're passionate about actually match up with what the company's all about. It's about building a career that you're truly excited about.
So there you have it, folks. A deep dive into not just how to ace the interview, but figuring out if it's a company you even want to ace it for. We hope you're feeling more prepared, more confident, and ready to tackle that interview like the two-way conversation it should be.
Good luck out there, everyone. Remember, preparation is key. Be yourself, and don't forget the right questions can lead you to the right opportunity.
Absolutely. And hey, if you ever need a pep talk or want to brainstorm some killer interview questions, you know where to find us. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.